guys, so today I'm going to be doing a book review on What's Left of Me by Kat Zhang. I read this book quite a while ago and I recently got the second and third book in the trilogy, so I wanted to reread this to refresh my memory. I will read you the back of the book to start with. It says, "By then Addie and I had been through 2 therapists and 4 types of medication, all trying to do what nature should have already done, get rid of the recessive soul, get rid of me." So, you're not quite sure on the plot too much from the back, but you know that there is what you think is 2 people, and they're having to go to a lot of doctors and things. But this book is set in a world where people are born with 2 souls, sort of like 2 personalities in a way, but then by the time they're sort of at least reach the age of 10, one of the souls becomes more dominant and is the prominent soul and the person, and the recessive soul just sort of disappears and dies in a sense. So this is about a girl called Addie, and her recessive soul is called Eva. So it's Addie and Eva, and they reach the age of 12 and they're still not showing any signs of settling, and everyone's getting very worried that they're not going to settle, and if they don't settle, that is what is called a hybrid, where not one of the souls doesn't become dominant and they live side by side together within the body. So this book follows Addie and Eva trying to just get through day-to-day life. Hybrids are seen as quite a big threat within the country and the government, and they know that hybrids can be taken away to institutions and things like that, where they just assume that they get either tortured or die. So this book is sort of told in the perspective of Eva. A lot of the time you're reading her thoughts, but Addie is the one that the girls decided was going to be the dominant soul, because everyone thought Addie would be the dominant soul, and they're lying to everyone, including probably their parents, that Eva just faded away and Addie is the only soul left. So one day a girl called Hallie at school decides she wants to be friends with Addie and Eva, and she's very persistent that she wants to be friends and wants her to come around her house, and Addie finally agrees, and she goes to the house and something doesn't seem quite right with her. Eva notices a few things about her, and it turns out that Hallie is also a hybrid. Her other name is Lisa, and obviously they could recognise that Addie and Eva were hybrids. They'd gotten into her school records and found out that she settled very late, and they feel they can help her and help Eva to become more dominant and be able to take more control of her body. So that's sort of where the book starts. Addie and Eva they know how dangerous this is, but at the same time Eva really wants to know what it's like to be able to speak and to have that control of their body. That's sort of the main premises of it. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads because I think it's a really good book. It's very different from any sort of dystopian I've read. I read it within a couple of days. I find it a really great, easy, quick read. And I mean, the art on this is just amazing as well. So we find out that Hallie is a hybrid. We also find out that Hallie's brother is a hybrid as well. Hallie and her brother are trying to help Eva to come out more by giving Addie this drug that makes her sort of go to sleep in a way, so Eva can take control. And there is a breakout of a fight or something that goes on in town, and Hallie decides that she wants to see what's going on, and the police catch her, and they obviously interrogate her, and they have reason to believe she is a hybrid. And basically Hallie confesses everything. She says that she's been giving these experimental drugs to Addie, and obviously the government now want to take in not only Hallie's brother but also Addie and find out if it's true that they really are hybrids. And that's sort of where the big danger starts, and where the story really takes off. So if you think you might want to read the series, then I'd probably stop watching here, because the rest of the review probably will contain some spoilers towards the end of the book. But I would definitely recommend this. I think it's a really great book. The writing's really good, and even though you've got two people speaking within sort of one body, it doesn't really get that complicated. I just found it a really smooth book to read. One day this man turns up at Addie's door and saying that he has reason to believe that she is a hybrid. They want to do tests on her, and her family ends up agreeing to let her go for what they think will only be a couple of days of tests. She's flown off to this clinic, and she's reunited with Devon and Hallie, and she quickly realises that she is not going to be there for only a few days, that they're basically keeping all these children in prison. They think that they're hybrids, and they want to get to the bottom of it and try and cure them. So one thing we find out is that when all the babies are born within this country, the government give them what their parents think are vaccinations, but really it's sort of like a drug to help one of the souls die off, when naturally that's something that just the human body should just do itself. This helps to make sure that it gets rid of one. In other countries they don't do that, so hybrids are very common and not really seen as much of a threat, even though there's like been wars and things gone on. The book then progresses with Addie trying to get out of this place, get everyone out. She wants to get to the bottom of all like the lies and why they're doing these testings. And Eva wants to, she really wants to be her own person now, and she's had this taste of what it's like to sort of walk and talk and all that, and she doesn't want to let it go now. I think there's probably something going on with Eva and Ryan. It was sort of shown a little bit in the book, but I think over the next book or so that'll be further mentioned. So like I said, I really enjoyed this book. I really liked seeing how Addie and Eva's relationship was, because it's really hard to think of how two people can essentially live in one body. It's a little bit like, the only thing I can compare it to is a little bit like schizophrenia, when you think you've got like multiple personalities, whereas in this book people are genuinely born with two souls. It's like having twins in one body, really. So I've just started reading the second book, so I'll probably do a combined book review of the second and third book. But like I said, I really recommend this book. If you're looking for a dystopian that's sort of not from the usual, if you like stuff that's to do with like psychology and things like that, then I think this is probably a quite interesting book for you. And yeah, so that's my quick little book review. I really enjoyed this book. I thought the writing was just done really well, and this book really did keep me gripped throughout. And yeah, I am a little bit concerned that maybe the second and third book might not live up to how good the first book is. That happened to me with the Match trilogy by Ali Kondo. I thought the first book was great, and that's sort of like a dystopian, but the second and third book just didn't live up to the first. So I'm hoping that the second and third book are just as good, if not better, and stay tuned for book reviews on those. And I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!